Hey everybody, my name is Chrissy, and if you're watching this video, it means that you got the My Way support guide in your hot little hands. I've been supporting people on their journeys for the last 20 years, and for the last 3 years, I've been training professionals how to do better at what we're doing, meaning we're moving towards person-centered care, or have moved by this point, from a healthcare standpoint. And so what I know is that all of our healthcare agencies are trying to figure out all the right questions to ask to get your answers to better support you. So wouldn't it stand to reason that it would be pretty darn cool if I could come with all the answers to the questions they didn't know how to ask? What a gift to you. What a gift to the people that are supporting you. And wow, imagine if we could start these journeys different by actually seeing people as the people they are and understanding what they need from us. It then allows us to become care partners instead of caregivers. So what I want to do is walk through this video with you, or walk through this My Way support guide with you, because every single thing in here is important and it has a reason for it. And so, because I know it's no fun to kind of do it yourself sometimes, I'm just going to give you some tips, hints, tricks, something that will spark some memories, give you some ideas about the things that you need to happen if somebody should have to actually support you. So here's one more tidbit of information. Statistically, only 5% of the population dies in their sleep. So that means that the rest of us are up for a pretty long journey. So I personally would like people to understand how to best support me way before I ever get to needing someone. You see, this little thing can hang on your refrigerator at home. It can go with you to the hospital. It can go with you to rehab. It can go with you anywhere you go, and it can come back home. So if your family's caring for you, if home care has to come in and support you until you get better, all the instructions of who you are and what you need are right here. What a gift, right? So let's start, because this is the fun part. So let's get started. Here's the front page, right? This is good. Demographics, easy stuff. One of the first questions that we talk about is, would I need to be best supported by my healthcare team? What is that? Does anybody ever ask that question? I think not. So what I need from my healthcare team is to actually be heard and listened to. It's really important to me. And if I don't feel heard and I don't feel like I'm getting across, because I am who I am, which is actually an extrovert, I will actually keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing until I get the answers that I need. The problem with that is people don't understand why I'm pushing. People don't understand why I need more information. It sounds like to some people that I'm questioning them. And I'm not. I'm a why person. I need to understand why we're doing something before we can do it. So what I need from my healthcare team is simply to be heard, to be listened to, and be treated like a human being, and give me some affirmation around the things that I'm feeling. If it's appropriate, if I'm way out of line and I'm freaking out for no apparent reason, I need to know that too. So usually when we don't know what's happening is when we freak out the worst. So especially when it comes to dementia. Now think about this for a second. Like, how many of you lose your keys and go, I got the dementia? That's not how dementia happens, but we're all scared of this crap, and I personally am really scared of it. I'm more scared about having a stroke. Not being able to tell people what I need, it scares me to death, actually. So the next page in your My Way support guide has what you need to know about me. So, are you an introvert, an extrovert, or are you mixed? Are you a doer, a talker, or a watcher? If I know these things, I can set you up for success, meaning that I can put you in situations that are comfortable to you instead of situations that are not comfortable to you, okay? So if you're an introvert, should I go put you smack dab in the middle of 500 people? Think not. But for some of us, we don't think that way. So So that's important. Doer, talker, or watcher. If you're a doer and you have nothing to do, I promise you'll get in trouble. So let's move on. Family history. Family members that are important to me, both past and present. It's important that we know who's important to you so we can connect you to them, so we can talk about them. You see, as a care partner, my job is to pick up where you leave off. And when you have dementia or things that you can't remember, my job is to connect you to the things that are important to you, that brought you joy, that bring you joy, that you have connections with. That's my job, but I can't do that if I don't know who it is. So that's important. Occupation, super important. First thing somebody asks you is, what's your name? Second thing is, what do you do? So occupation is super important. It will also help me to understand how to maybe give you some things to do. We all like to feel like we're accomplishing things. So it's really an awesome thing. The next thing is military service. I have to tell you, I never understood how important this was until I went to a facility. And they were talking, I train on dementia. So they were talking about this guy that kept yelling and yelling. And he keeps yelling for his fellow soldiers and to come and get him. And I said, well, what is his history? What is going on with him? What do we know about him? So we didn't know anything, actually. Went back to the family. Here, this gentleman was a prisoner of war twice, which is bad enough you do it once, but twice, holy crap, right? But here's the thing. When he has dementia, and so every time he yells, the yelling that irritates the staff, he feels like he's back in that place where he is a prisoner. So every time we don't come and get him, he feels like he's being left there. He feels like he's alone. He feels vulnerable. So what I subsequently trained the staff is his reality is his truth. So when we're not going to get him, we're causing more problems, more distress. And as caregivers, our job is to reduce suffering, not add to it. So anyway, so what we're doing here is important. What branch I served, if I have PTSD is very important. Loud noises, things will happen. I can have reactions that you might not understand. So it's super important that you understand that's part of my history. Spiritual, religious preferences, super important. Diverse we are, okay? I can't even begin to understand nor guess what things are important to you. So, or what spiritual things, which cultural things, which I absolutely 110% want to know, but I can't know if you don't tell me. So I want to respect you, your culture, your spiritual beliefs. I'll be better able to do that if you give me some guidance. Major life events. This is really important, super important. So if I get dementia, I'm not probably going to remember those major life events, both good and bad. So we all know that different smells, different songs, different things, they trigger us to have different memories, right? So here's one for you. My dad used to call every night at 10 o'clock. He was a truck driver. It was his way of letting us know he was okay. He's been gone for 27 years. And still to this day, if that phone rings at 10 o'clock at night, I will have a reaction. So, oh my, who's going to know how to support me if that happens? I need to ensure that somebody knows that I'm looking for my dad. I'm worried about my dad because I'm not going to give up until I know. So, reassurance from my care partners. I can't do that if I don't know. Positive, just as powerful as the negative. So help me understand your world by giving me some background on who you are. Rituals, routines. This is important. Your morning routine. Think about that for a second. Pretty simple, but think about your most important part of your morning routine, and if you didn't have it, how that would screw up your day. So probably 90% of the people I talk to, it's all about the coffee, right? But here's the other thing. what we don't talk about is sometimes it's about the pooping. And I know that's gross, but I have to say it out loud. So I have a friend who would kill me if she heard me say this, but it's taken her over 20 years to get the right concoction to mix together every morning so she can get her poop on. Wow, that's kind of important. And if I have to come take care of her, I would want to make sure I'm keeping her regular, because otherwise she'll get crabby. And then how will I know it's because she didn't get her poop on? So it's small, huge, huge, huge thing. Morning routines. If you do daily devotions in the morning, it's part of who you are. It's part of your morning routine. I want to provide that for you, but I also have to understand that you do it in the first place, okay? So morning rituals, all that kind of stuff is important. Now, do you brush your teeth with warm water or cold water? This is important. So I am a warm water toothbrusher person because I have super sensitive teeth, okay? If I'm supporting you, or you're supporting me, should I say, and you have never put a warm toothbrush in your mouth, and you care for me like you would care for yourself, I'm getting the cold toothbrush, and I'm going to have a reaction, and it's probably not going to be nice. So, little tiny detail, ginormous impact. Also our beverages, right? I had a client call me and say that after the teeth brushing incident, or the conversation that we had, she couldn't get her person to take the meds, and it was because they were giving him ice cold water. That was really hard on his teeth. So tiny things, big, 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 big repercussions. Okay. Now, do you shower? Do you bath? Is it morning or night? And how often do you do it? What I figured out is that some people do it once a week, and it's Saturday, and it's a bath, and I respect that. Can't respect it unless I know about it, okay? Also, special bathing instructions. Had no idea that there are people who don't face the shower head. I didn't know that. What time do you like to go to bed? Oh, one more thing. Preferred products. I'm convinced that if I stop using the oil of Olay lotion on my face is going to fall down. Realistic? Probably not. Important to me? Absolutely. Okay? What time do you like to go to bed? What are your nighttime rituals? I have a bowl of Raisin Bran every night before I go to bed, because that's what I do. Things like, I don't do it, but some people will check the door like 3 times to make sure it's locked. Like, we all have a routine and a ritual. We need to know about it so we understand what's happening to you. Okay? The next thing is food. Food. Clearly, I like food. Food. Do you have specific breakfast, lunch, or dinner preferences? Here's an example. My stepdad has eaten a peanut butter sandwich for lunch for the last 60 years. Who am I to stop doing that? So that's one of the things on his list that absolutely needs to happen, right? Some of us have specific breakfasts. I eat yogurt and granola every single morning. Good or bad, that's what I do. Do you have specific favorite drinks? Mine is coffee. Some of you are wine people. That's important for me to know. What kind of wine? The red ones or the white ones or the sweet one? I'm not a wine person, so you'd have to give me some direction. But I am a diet squirt person, and not many people drink that. So who would know that's my favorite thing to drink? My favorite comfort food is, let's be honest, we all find comfort in food. It's how we socialize. It's how we build relationships sometimes. It's interesting. So food is important. What you like, what you don't like. For instance, what you don't like. Let's be honest. Lutefisk? Why? Crazy. Okay? Special food instructions. This is important because if you are the kind of person that doesn't want your food to touch, you might want to tell us, because not even on my radar. Okay? A quick look at me is the next section. My biggest pet peeve and irritations include This is important. Gum snapping, drama. I'm not a good drama person. Way not a good drama person. Things that scare me, good to know. It scares me. Snakes, mice, scare me. Okay? Loud talking also scares me. Like yelling, I don't like that. I don't know if it scares me, but it certainly brings me up to alert. And if I have dementia, the last thing you want me to do is be more alert. I'm not alert, but freaking out. Okay. Things that scare me. Do you like animals? This is important. Holy crap. Because eventually somebody is going to come to visit, got a brand new puppy, and put the damn thing right on your lap. So if that's cool with you, great. If it's something that's going to make you freak out, better tell us now. What else? So right here you have the quick look at me, which is kind of awesome because it tells us so many things in a really quick fashion. Social, alone time, whole body, adventure, really helps me in a very quick scan figure out who you are. Activities and interests. I like to blank for fun by myself. What do you do by yourself? I like to read, do puzzles, yeah, peace and quiet. That's what I like to do by myself. With others, I like to dance. I like to go shopping. I like to go to the casino. I like to do a bunch of stuff. Okay? So if I tell you that, you're going to be able to hook me up. That's the whole point. Hobbies and interests. When we're not working, we do that. We do hobbies. We do our interests. We look at things that interest us. If I don't know what those things are for you, I can't hook you up. So definitely need to know what those things are. My favorite kind of music. This is important. We keep music. We keep it. So we keep rhythm. We keep poetry, prayer, idle social chit-chat, things like that. Those are things that I keep if I get dementia. So music becomes pretty important and pretty powerful, right? So I talked about my dad, Brown Eyed Girl. Used to sing it to me. We used to dance at it at the weddings, all the weddings together. I was his Brown Eyed Girl, and it was important to me. Special songs, that would be the one of them, but also a special song would be Wind Beneath My Wings. Makes me sad. Don't want to hear it. We'll shut it off if it's on. So if you're supporting me and that does actually go off, I hope you shut it off for me because it makes me sad. Rituals and traditions, daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, we all have them. Birthdays. I want to honor your birthday. If you're princess for a day, I want to make you princess for a day, right? Christmas, Easter, other holidays. What are your traditions? What are your things that are important to you? So here's a really important part. Emotional support. Ooh, nobody asks us this. What makes me happy or brings me joy is. That's pretty important. My family brings me joy. Puppies bring me joy. Funny fainting goat videos bring me joy. I know, it's weird. I do these things to rest and restore. I really need alone time. I like to read. We talked about that. Mornings are my quiet time. So I need you to understand that. Okay? When I'm sick, I find comfort by, I grab my pillow, my blanket, head to the couch, turn on Little House on the Prairie, 7-Up, and chicken soup. That's what I do if I'm sick. And if you're caring for me, there's a pretty good chance that I'm not feeling great. I'm feeling a little sick. So it's good to know. When I'm upset, the best way to support me is, and you get choices here, talk to me or give me time and space. This is important because it really does actually hinder on the introvert or extrovertedness of you. So if you're upset and you need me to talk to you, which is me, okay, I need to know that. If leaving you alone is the right thing to do, I also need to know that too. So tell me what to do. Tell me how to best support you in those instances. Both when I'm upset, I'm angry, and I'm sad. I need to know how to help you through that because care partner, I pick up where you leave off. Okay? Now, right here is the my way. If I should have to leave my home, My preference is to go to, please help us figure out where you want to go. I don't want to take you somewhere that you do not want to go. And here's the deal. No good decision ever comes out of a crisis. So if we don't have this figured out now, I don't want you to end up somewhere you don't want to be, right? Sometimes we don't have a choice, even if we're doing the best that we can, okay? We don't have a choice. Special things I want to bring with me because they're important to me. Oof. Here's what a family conversation sounds like when they're trying to figure out what to bring mom in the nursing home or assisted living or wherever they are. Well, we don't want to bring that stuff. It'll just get lost, stolen, or broken. Maybe. But if you tell me what things are important to you and I bring them, I'm pretty sure that people will make an effort not to steal it, lose it, or break it. I need to be surrounded by things that are familiar and comfortable to me. And that's how that works. Okay. My biggest fear about leaving home. We all have a fear. What is it? Because if I understand your fear, I'm better able to support you through the transition and instead of if I don't, right? My vision for my end of life journey. Now here's the thing. This personal care insurance is what we're calling this, right? Do you really want to just throw the cards up and see where they land and hope that your end of life journey aligns with something that's comfortable and familiar with you, to you? So it's really important that you have a vision, right? So my must-haves and special requests, this might help you out with that question. I need a fan. Turn on the damn fan. Part of the process is like, you get really super hot and I actually need a fan to go to sleep. So that should have been way back in the guide somewhere, right? Anyway, turn on the fan. I want the fan on because I'm probably going to be hot. Second thing is, can't stand quiet. Please don't make it quiet. I need a little bit of music in the background. Maybe some TV. Music. Nothing that makes me want to bang my head against the wall. Something light, country, something acoustic, piano, something. Just something that's not aggressive, okay? So not too hard. Turn on the fan. Turn on the music, okay? My biggest fear about dying is I don't want to be alone. I don't want 40,000 people looking at me, for sure. But the people who are important to me, I want them to be with me. It's a beautiful journey. It's part of everybody's journey. And so I just don't want to be alone. I want the people who are important to me to be there. Important to me that you know. So this is the last question, kind of. It's important to me that you know. The reason why I put this question in there has everything to do with the fact that my biggest fear is having a stroke, and I won't be able to tell you what's going on with me, who I am, what I care about, all those things, right? So if you think about not being able to talk to somebody and just wanting to yell something at them, what would you yell? If you only just knew blah, if you only just knew me, if you, things like that, okay? So, and maybe it's nothing. Maybe it's important to me that you know that I just simply love you and I'm grateful for you being here, right? You have a bunch of additional space right here for if you have overflowing questions over there. Then the very last thing we have, which I think is probably one of the biggest gifts to the people that are supporting us and our families. If I can't speak or have dementia, I want you to always remember. Here's the thing. This is a really hard time, especially if I have dementia. Super hard. We have conversations in passing about, if that ever happens to me and you ever have to care for me, I don't want, when I start not being able to use the restroom by myself, I want you to take me somewhere. If that's a conversation that you've had and that's really something that you want, you have to write that down. Because here's what's happening. 5, 6, 8 years from now, from this conversation, I get to a place where I can't use the restroom by myself. And you as a caregiver go, bing, she said something about this, right? So then instinct is to just simply talk to me about this again. I will always say no. When I have dementia, I will probably always say no. A, you're asking me to rationalize and reason with you. Can't do it. B, have no idea what you're saying. So the safest answer for me is no. Okay? So super important. If you need to clear air, whatever you need to do, right? It's whatever's important for you to remember. That's really what you want to do there. So here's what I'm going to say. Thank you. Thank you for filling this out. Thank you for helping the people that will someday eventually help you, whether your family, professionals, and thank you for taking the time. It's really the biggest gift you can give yourself and your family. So if you know anybody else that needs a guide, hook us up. I can hook you up. Have a great day, and bye.